Hello buddy, it's vanburman here. Welcome to my video on the open beta for Warhammer Vermintide 2. So I did play the first one. We're now on to the beta of the second one, which you can pick up if you've pre-ordered the game already. I picked up a key for the game, so that then comes with the beta as well, so it's pretty good. First thing that really struck me about Vermintide 2 is graphically it looks incredible. The footage you're seeing on your screen at the minute is on the extreme setting at 4K. Didn't quite get a smooth 60, it balanced between 30 and 60 in there, so maybe we'll see some optimization improvements going forward, but yes, without a doubt, it's got the potential to be a really pretty game in terms of graphics anyway. Just the detail on the sword and in the forest and stuff, although this bit's not in the forest, it's in Helmgart. So that was actually really cool as well, because now I've played quite a lot of the Total War Warhammer stuff. Obviously those locations and a bit more of that lore is sort of, or at least that universe, is more ingrained in me now than it was before. I didn't really know anything about Warhammer before this whole series of games came out. So it's still running on the usual, Left 4 Dead style of gameplay. This time round, they've added some new bits, made it a bit more. It's still simple in its gameplay. It sort of does a better job than Left 4 Dead 2 did, coming from Left 4 Dead 1. Obviously, there's a bit more of a development cycle in this particular one than there was from that. Shouldn't really compare the two. Don't know why the guy shot that barrel, but yeah, you're just playing with people that maybe have never even played this game before. So yeah, I'm not very good myself. I find the game quite difficult, a lot more so than the first one, even though the first one was still pretty tough at times. But no, there's a whole host of new enemies this time. I think we've got the Norskans and also the Chaos Warriors in here as well. So adding them in gives you, as well as the previous Skaven as well, gives you quite a big roster of enemies to butcher and slice up. And I found that you have to actually do a lot more defense this time. A lot of the guys are a lot meaner. It sort of gives me the feeling of how, well, to a certain extent, how I maybe expected Hellraiser to be. Is it Hellraiser? I can't remember. Hellraid. That's it, Hellraid. In terms of how gritty the enemies looks and how the graphics look and that sort of stuff. So, yeah. Thus far, I've been pretty impressed with that side of things. I've not noticed any bugs or anything in the game, even though it's in beta, but I presume it's pretty much nearly done. This is more just testing out stability and making sure there's no glaring bugs when it gets sent out to loads of people in one go, which is nice. I don't know if they're going to be doing an open beta, presumably, because this is closed. They will do an open one, but I'm unsure. Is there a new class? There's 5 classes anyway. And there's also seems to be different characters within that class as well. And obviously it seems to have the whole, different variation of ranged weapons and melee weapons that you can acquire through playing the game. So that's quite nice. So far I've only been the mercenary, which is like the Empire soldier, effectively. And I recently, in the last game, unlocked the Hellbird. So I'll be having a go with that next time I boot up the game. But just sort of wanted to do a video of a bit of first impressions, show you guys what it looks like, give my initial thoughts. And I suppose that's about where I am. It's fun, challenging. For me, so far, it seems like there is going to be more than enough improvement from the initial game, which will be obviously good to see. There's a load of new potions. You can now hold a lot more of the potions and bombs and that sort of stuff, which is quite nice. There's potions for all different types of things. There is also this purple bar at the bottom, which has got some creepy looking faces down there. I don't know what that is, but I have seen in some, I believe you can activate something from it, which gives you a special move or something. I don't actually know. I must find out about that. That's the only thing I'm a little bit confused at thus far with it, but no, all the environments look beautifully crafted. I suppose for what Factchart do with this, it's really not too bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, they only have a limited amount of locations and maps to make, but they all look incredibly detailed, much like they were in the first game. And not only that, obviously, it is more of a cut price experience. You know, the fact that I think you can pick it up for like £21, £22 with 10% off just for the standard edition. You know, which is absolutely nothing compared to what, you know, AAA titles are. Not that I would say, but, you know, it could be £30. You know, you'd still think it was an okay price. So, yeah. No, I was a little bit hesitant potentially about getting it, but the fact that you had access to the closed beta if you pre-ordered it, I had a good time with the first one. Just sort of gave me a bit more confidence to say, yeah, you know what, we'll have a chance, well, take a chance on this one and see how it goes. So, the different variety of enemies is a lot better, as you probably, if you have played the first game, you'll notice that with the Skaven, you could literally just overpower them all the time other than the special ones, whereas now, you know, even the grunts have a bit of force to them. As you see, lots of bloodshed. Again, so that was a potion of speed. Can't remember if there was one of them in the first game or not. And then this was actually the first time I actually encountered the Skaven, so they are still in there. But as you can see, they mow down as easily as they did previously. Lots of blood splattering everywhere. I had this bomb and I really wanted to use it. I just couldn't find a good time at this point. I did use it a little bit later on, so at least there's that. So this is a new type of special rat clan. Rat? Is it rat clan? I don't know what it's called. So I did see a bit in the loading screens that basically says, you know, if they come at you attacking, you need to block, wait for your opportunity, hit them back. Which I didn't do and lost a lot of health. So very quickly your game can turn around from you being in a really good position to being in a really bad position. Which I suppose is par for the course for this series of games. But just one of them, you got to be careful. And this is on, I think this is on the lowest difficulty at the moment as well. So what the game does, it doesn't let you go any higher than recruit difficulty to start off with until you've earned so much experience, and then it will let you up the difficulty. Obviously you get better rewards as per the first game. I haven't completed a level yet, so I'm not sure how they go about. You get experience obviously even if you lose, which is what happened in this particular game. We lost, but I still managed to get myself a level up, got myself a new weapon, so your time spent in the mission has not been totally wasted. But just little details like the rust on the sword and the way the blood splatters around, all that sort of stuff, is just, all looks really crisp. It's all really, you know, it's all pretty gritty. I quite like that. I think, you know, if I get a group of 4 of us together, it'd probably be quite a good laugh to, you know, play through this when it does come out eventually. I don't know what the guy as a dwarf's doing, but he's having a jolly good time. So, unfortunately, we're sort of coming up now to where the story ends, I suppose. I ended up making a bit of a mess of a couple of special Norscan guys, which I should have really blocked, and I seem to just choose the wrong time to block and then just end up getting smashed about the place. But, you know, it's one of those things, it comes with experience. You're coming up against new enemies and you learn how to deal with them eventually. And that's basically how it went. And so I saw this shiny up here, which I think is one of the same thing as one of the tomes that they had from the first game. If you collect all them, then obviously, presumably, you get some sort of bonus at the end. Yeah, it was these two here. So I got a good slash off out of them, both on the ankles, and it was just here I should have just covered up, just kept blocking. Waited for my teammates to help me out, but unfortunately I'm not patient enough for that, and now I've got virtually no health, so yeah, next couple of hits and I'm down for sure. And no health potions. So that's one of the things that I've noticed. There seemed to be a lack of healing items compared to the first game. So I've not seen any bandages at all. It all seems to be health potions in vials, which it does cure you quite a lot, but they seem to be extremely rare. So, or at least I probably felt as though there should have been one in between this one and between coming up the elevator on that bit. So there you go. You had the bomb set off there, which caused a nice little bit of damage. Obviously, I wasted it because those grunts are nothing. But I thought, you know, if I'm going to die soon, I at least want to get a good explosion off for the video. And then, yeah, I went down to try and save the guy, and I just got ransacked. But luckily, teammates helped me up. The guy that was playing as the battle wizard was really good in this particular game. The other two were not up to much. Myself was not up to much either. So yeah, we sort of let that guy down a bit. But like I say, it's a learning experience. I'm playing it in beta for now. This is the only guy I've had any sort of gameplay with. In the first game, mainly played as the Wayfarer. So that will probably be one of the next ones I'll go to, see how they play. Probably pretty much the same. But I think, you know, they've done a really good job with this again. I suppose, you know, it's one of the few really properly party co-op games that there actually is. That you could actually sit down and play with your friends like this, 4 of you. So it's quite refreshing in that regard. Obviously, there's a lot of purely multiplayer games that I really don't like subscribe to. The whole Call of Duty type stuff. You know, I think something like this is real good fun. I've had a lot of fun with the Left 4 Dead games, with the first Vermintide, and that's probably how it will go going forward. Yeah, I got completely annihilated. So I do get down now for a bit. We do get back up and have a little bit of a rally. We get to fight what is effectively like the new, I suppose he's a troll, isn't he, really? And he spits this venom everywhere, but just detailing on the character models are incredible at times. Like, even just looking at the gloves when he's holding the sword and everything, it all looks really good. Also, the hits also feel as though they've got a decent weight to them. So when you are slicing into enemies, you feel, you know, the game feels as though you are as well. It's very tactile at times, which I quite like. You know, very action orientated, and yeah, basically, if you like the first game, I think this one's a goer. And yeah, I've not really got too much of a bad word to say about this one or the first one. I think they do what they set out to do rather well. So I'll be looking forward to playing this a bit more as we come out of closed beta and into full release. I think full release is on the 8th of March. You can pick it up off the Steam store right now, and I believe it's got 10% off. I was just trying to chase this guy around the pillar, wait for him to, yeah, and then go for him. Unfortunately, one of the special Skaven put an end to that. I was trying to save my teammate, and then yeah, ended up getting put down myself, unfortunately. But I suppose it was pretty much game over at that point anyway. Still, that's how Vermintide goes. Thanks for watching, guys. See you all on the next one. Goodbye.